Good morning, guys. Welcome to Fishful Thinker. I'm Chad LaChance, and I appreciate you joining us. And you've caught me in the boat this morning with Mr. Austin Parr. You've seen Austin Parr on the show a whole bunch before, even here one other time.
Absolutely.
We're on Chatfield State Park, Chatfield Reservoir here in Colorado, in Denver, Colorado, and we are going to get after some smallmouth bass this morning and then some walleyes this afternoon. So it's going to be a two-part deal. Should be really fun.
Absolutely.
What do you expect out of the morning?
Fish have still been on structure even late in the season, so it should be really productive.
There you go, guys. It's September. It's a chilly morning here in Chatfield Reservoir. See if we can catch some bass old school on the topwaters.
Fishful Thinker is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse. Gear up for unforgettable. Berkeley, your fish, our science. Abu Garcia, fish to win. Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate.
All right, here we go. First couple casts of the morning. Now it is, what are we? First week of September, second week of September already?
Now, yes.
And we are topwater fishing. Now I may need the smaller popper. Now we're starting, I've got a bullet pop 70 and you've got a bullet pop 60. And it can be that the big bait they have a harder time getting hold of.
Well, and the thing about this dam face too is there are some very, very nice smallmouth in this lake, but kind of like your home lake on Horsetooth, you have to weed through some small ones sometimes.
Right, sure. Yeah, this is not a giant trophy impoundment. The reason we do shows here, guys, is because it's very accessible to everybody. This is an easy place. If you're anywhere near Denver, this is an easy place to come and fish. And it's a very prolific fishery.
What's been interesting about this dam face too is that, you know, you'll get into a pocket where you'll catch quite a few of them, and you'll have a extended a period of time where there's nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll get on some fish, and it's cast after cast.
Got that one.
Nice.
All right, so that's my third cast of the morning, guys. I want to point out real quick. And I want to also point out to Austin that all I did was close the bail. I threw up there and let it hit, and it's all the way at the end of the cast.
Well, and that's really shallow water up there too. We just found that out just a second ago, you know, getting up there close, that's only sitting in.
Boat's sitting in less than 4 right
That's a
here,
double.
guys. You get one?
Doubled up.
There you go. So we're off on a good start this morning here. And guys, like I said, our goal today is to catch a bunch of these this morning and then go work structure. Hey, you got a nice one too.
Pretty decent little bass there.
Yeah, you got a good one there. You got me beat right off the bat. Look at this guy go to town on him. Look at this. He got the little popper, I got the big popper. He got the little big bass and I got the little bass. I'm not feeling the love in that. Now for this time of year, I just don't expect to be working 2 feet of water in September on the dam face.
Isn't that crazy?
With topwaters, you know?
Yeah.
But
I mean, we've been blown up, what, 4 times now, and we've been fishing for a grand total of about 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a fish right there.
There you go.
Another one that just slurped it down. This is just a little guy here.
And this fishery, this fishery is full of numbers of fish like that. But you say you weed through enough of them, just like that first one you caught.
Getting into some pretty quality ones. And there's times where we've legitimately caught 20-inch bass out here before too.
Right.
So.
Yeah, for people that are familiar with this fishery, it's no surprise to have little guys like that, lots of them. Now I keep marking fish under the boat out here in 4 feet of water. And got that little guy. Dude, we're gonna rack up some fish this morning, I can tell you what, with the bullet pops and I'm gonna throw a chopo for a little bit as well.
With these topwater baits too, when I'm guiding, you know, I always have a tendency to have people that want to keep that rod tip up. They're used to jigging, and that's always kind of a challenge. So, you know, if anyone's ever working this topwater bait, that rod tip being down is critical, and it's one of those little nuances that if you're not really paying attention, it might affect
all the difference.
It makes all the difference.
Oh yeah, all the difference in the world. The other thing I notice is in my guiding is guys, when they get a bite, they set the hook straight up and jerk the popper up, and then if you miss, that thing comes flying, you know. So in my mind, the strike should just be down and across, you know. It's hard to do, but it does.
Almost just reeling tight sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And that will also keep you from pulling the bait completely away from fish.
And keeping it down, because so many times if they miss that bait, you can just let it sit there and pop it once or twice and they'll come back and eat it.
Just make it look alive.
about where the boat's sitting right now along the shoreline, and a lot of these fish will sit off of this break, but early they'll be up in that really shallow water.
Right.
But they'll eat this all the way back to the boat. I just missed one a second ago that was about halfway in.
Yeah, it's a long popper retreat.
Right
there you got him. You had to wait that one out. Nicely done. So far the little popper is getting more love than the big popper.
It's so funny, these bass are just...
There's that one. I got a double as well. Oh, mine pulled off. Mine was a little guy though. Nicely done. And that's that little Bullet Pop 60 in the bone color.
Yes, sir. There we go.
Nicely done.
Smallmouth.
Fishful Thinker is brought to you by Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate. Sportsman's Warehouse. Gear up for unforgettable.
That's a nice one too. Dude, they are on that little bone colored one way better. That's good to know. That's a good fish there.
Yeah, it is.
Nicely done. So that's a little, now he told me too, Austin, typical with Austin, he told me that they wanted a small bone colored popper, and so I had him tie that on, and I tied a bigger non-bone colored popper on, and I think that makes me the bonehead in the group. Because mine's been bit, but not half the bites that you're getting. You normally throw braid of some sort?
I like braided line.
For a popper?
Absolutely, it floats on top, but then you also have a good solid connection when that fish does bite.
Right. Plus you don't have to work the bait nearly as hard for one, and you can also hook set from way out there, which is one of the advantages of popper. Topwater in general, you can generally throw most of them a long ways.
And catch fish on that long distance cast.
Yeah, I mean, we saw already today. I got one all the way at the end of as long a cast as I could possibly make.
Yep.
Now I've got the Chapo on here, and I've got it on casting tackle, but I've got it on a 6'10" medium power rod, so we're still in medium power, and I have this on 10-pound XT, which is monofilament line, nylon monofilament line. It's got a little bit more stretch to it. You can also work this on braid as well. I just like the feel of it on here, and the bait's continuously moving, so when the fish get a hold of it, it gives you a little cushion. Ooh, there you go. They like that little popper.
Yes, they do. Right in that same area where he was before, too. We're just a little bit off of that dam face.
Yeah. Now, do you find these guys school up?
I do.
This time of year?
Yes, and you'll find in an area that there'll be more fish in a certain area, and you'll go across the dam face, and there won't be any for a while, and then all of a sudden you'll catch 3 or 4 on 5 or 6 casts.
But in your experience, as far as looking down there's one in the Chapo, but as far as your experience of, there's no real structure out here on this other than just the dam face itself.
Sure.
There's no changes fundamental.
There's just the one break, but it's the equivalent break on the entire
that's
entire dam face.
So check this out. So now the Chapo, but I went to the small bone colored Chapo. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Almost first cast.
And yeah, that's my second cast with that thing. No problem. See you, buddy. Little tiny Chapo bait, and that's a bait that some viewers may not be real familiar with, but it's got a asymmetric tail on it, so it makes a kind of an oddball noise. Just a straight retrieve, almost like a buzz bait. I find the more I try to get tricky with it, the less fish I catch.
Just cast and reel.
Just cast and wind, and it doesn't get any easier than that. So I find it's a great bait for customers too, Austin, for guide trips, because there's no wrong way to do it. You just throw it and wind it, you know? And it works pretty good. You can just throw it and wind it like that and just catch another one. Yeah, that'll work just fine. And I've got this on a 6'10", medium power, extra fast Fantasista rod, and the MGX reel. It's one of my absolute favorite rod reel line combos. And look at that, there's a little chunkier one there. And there's another Chatfield monster. I would think with as shallow as this water is, almost anything besides topwater would be snaggy real bad out here.
This dam face is famous for being, in my opinion, one of the snaggiest I've ever fished.
Yeah, and that's saying something, because I live at Horsetooth, which is also very snaggy, but this place is extremely snaggy, and the topwaters are good for that. You bring clients out and topwater fish?
I do all the time, and I start a lot of my mornings, even walleye fishing, doing that, where we'll come across this dam face once or twice and catch a bunch of fish and then shift out to the walleyes.
And you could for sure be going along here with a tube jig or something and catch some of these, but you also will fight the snag situation a lot.
Better fish something cheap.
Yeah, right? That makes good sense.
I'm all about high quality hooks and high quality jigs, but just not on this dam.
No way. There's one there. That looks like it might be a better one, and he smashed that Chapo. Yeah, I think that's a better one there, guys. I'm not totally sure of that, but I think it is. Where'd he go? Yeah, I think that's a good one there. And I got him on 10-pound.
Would you like a net?
Nah.
Okay.
It's rare we net bass. Oh, that's a toad though. Look at that one.
That's nice.
That's a toad, guys. We're gonna look close at this one. Yeah, that's a real nice one. For this lake, guys, that's a real nice one. And he'll stay on there, and we're just gonna swing him up in here. All right, guys, so there's a Chapo in that one. And for this lake, that's a good quality fish. I mean, there's a lot of these in here, don't get me wrong. That's not like a, oh my God fish, but that's a good quality fish. That's probably a 15, 16 inch fish.